This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Joining us today is Tristan Pottas, the CEO of First Development Resources, who is currently on a whirlwind tour of FDR's projects in Australia. Now, last time we spoke, Tristan, you were at the Celta uranium rare earth project in the Northern Territory, and now you have arrived in Western Australia. So it's a bit of a packed schedule, is it, Tristan?
Yeah, hi Mark. It's great to speak to you, and you're right. It certainly has been a packed schedule. Myself and my colleague Nick Hode, who manages our interests in country, we've travelled several thousand kilometres to visit all of our projects, as you say, initially in the Northern Territory, and now we're here in Western Australia.
Now, the company has a substantial footprint for gold and copper prospectivity in the Paterson region, and there are some serious mines and majors in the area. So why has the region become such a hot property recently?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think the Paterson has always been known as a prospective part of Western Australia, and that's evidenced by the presence of long established operations such as Telfer and Nifty. But I'd suggest that obviously in recent times the spotlight has really been cast back on the region following the discovery of Greatland Gold's Javieron and Rio Tinto's Winu project. I think historically a lot of people, or certainly the junior space, has been turned off by the depth of cover which buries these targets. But obviously with modern day exploration techniques, we're able to see beneath the cover, and yeah, it's a really exciting place to be doing business.
And can you give investors a flavour of the projects that the company have in the Paterson region?
Certainly. So our flagship project, the Wallal project, is in the northern part of the Paterson. And Wallal at Wallal we've got three as yet untested magnetic bullseye anomalies which have been identified following the completion of an in-depth geophysical review. That review has taken into consideration airborne magnetics, ground gravity, historical seismic, and our own 2D seismic survey, and we've actually identified three intriguing bullseye anomalies which we hope to investigate further. And then beyond Wallal, we've also got the Braeside West and the Ripon Hills projects. Braeside and Ripon Hills are located approximately 260 kilometres to the southeast of Port Hedland, and they're actually located on the eastern and western limbs of the Oakover syncline. Now, this part of the world is well known for manganese exploration and mining, as evidenced by the nearby Woody mine, but also has the potential for base metal and gold mineralisation associated with deep-seated faults which trend in a northwest-southeast orientation. And these faults have the potential to be conduits for various styles of hydrothermal mineralisation, which again is evidenced by the success seen recently by Rumble Resources on land adjacent to Braeside. So Rumble, they've actually defined a regional scale porphyry, epithermal and VMS system, which extends for over 60 kilometres in strike and 8 kilometres in width, and within which they've identified over 40 priority gold and base metal targets. Now, at this stage, we believe that the geology on Braeside West and Ripon Hills is comparable to what Rumble Resources have. And obviously, we hope that through further work, we'll be able to identify similar mineralogical similarities also.
Okay. Now, you recently visited the Wallal prospect. Can you expand on why the company is so excited by the bullseye targets within the footprint, and maybe expand on the synergies to Greatland Gold's Javieron discovery?
Yeah, certainly. So, look, our targets at Wallal are geophysical targets. From a geological perspective, the prospect is located in a similar sort of environment to Rio Tinto's Winu. However, it's the bullseye anomalies which have been identified following the geophysical review which give us most reason for interest, if you like. And that's because the amplitude of the geophysical signature does bear a striking resemblance to that seen at Greatland Gold's Javieron. However, I must stress that at this stage it is purely a geophysical signature. We next need to drill these anomalies to determine whether there are mineralogical similarities also. But obviously, when you see success such as Greatland's, it certainly motivates and inspires and demonstrates that if you are prepared to go after these things, then you can get lucky, which is obviously what we hope as well.
And can you give investors an idea of the exploration plans for the three projects in 2022, and will they see any drilling in the near term?
Certainly. So At Wallal, we've basically done as much surface work, i.e. desktop studies and reconnaissance that we can do. There isn't very little in the way of, in fact, there's no outcrop at Wallal. We've through the desktop study, we've really constrained the target, or our preferred target, which is the eastern anomaly, and we now hope to drill that as soon as the IPO process is complete. To drill that, we've had a POW, a Program of Works, approved by the Department of Mining Infrastructure Regulation and Safety, and we hope to commence the Heritage Clearance Survey at Wallal in the next few weeks. Down at Braeside West and Ripon Hills, it's very much a more an early stage target. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there is a lot of success that's been had immediately adjacent and to the projects and also in the region. We're in the process of finalising the desktop review for Ripon Hills and Braeside, which we hope will identify targets for further investigation. And then, as we always do, we'll follow that methodical, diligent, detailed, multi-layered exploration approach to determine what we've got, and then homing in on targets, and then deploying the best and most effective form of exploration that we can.
And how long are you planning to stay in Australia, Tristan? And is the IPO progressing as planned?
So we've got another week here in Australia. We finish our field work this weekend before heading back to Perth. Once in Perth, we'll be meeting with a lot more of the advisors, the legal advisors, the accounting teams, meeting with the non-executive directors who are based in Perth, and obviously spending time with all the people who've basically been helping us with our Australian-based assets. It's been a fabulous trip, and it's been great to be able to speak with you at various stages of the journey, and we look forward to continuing the good work once we get back to the UK and pushing these things forward. And obviously, in order to do that, we need to complete the IPO process. While I've been away, there's been a lot of work ongoing on the pre-IPO side of things, and we hope to be able to commence that process very soon after we get back. And then, as we've mentioned previously, we'd hope that following completion of the pre-IPO, it'd be a 3-month process to get to that IPO stage.
Thank you very much for your time, Tristan Pottas, the CEO of First Development Resources, for joining us on site in Western Australia. If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programmes at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.